Lawmakers made changes to the controversial legislation in committee, and Fox 59 State House reporter Kristen Escow was there as all of those changes were explained. She brings those changes to us now and breaks down what we can expect in this measure.
Well, Birchelle and Dan, one of the biggest changes that was approved today was the addition of deadlines for survivors of rape or incest to be able to obtain a legal abortion. Now, lawmakers on the committee did choose to move forward with the bill and pass it out of committee over to the full state Senate. But today, several lawmakers who voted in favor of passing the bill out of committee say they still have concerns.
Motion passes 8-4.
Republican Indiana lawmakers adding new restrictions to their proposed abortion ban. The bill allows exceptions for rape, incest, and substantial permanent risk to the mother's health.
Motion passes 7-5.
Under an amendment approved Tuesday, doctors could be charged with a level 5 felony for any illegal abortion. And lawmakers have set deadlines for rape or incest survivors to obtain an abortion. For a pregnant person under age 16, they would have until 12 weeks post-fertilization. For Hoosiers age 16 and older, that time limit drops to 8 weeks. All but one Republican on the committee voted in favor of the change. Senate President Pro Tem Rod Bray was asked how those deadlines were decided.
No, not arbitrarily chosen. I think 8 weeks is about to the heartbeat level, and I think the people had concerns about going out too far.
No.
Senate Minority Leader Greg Taylor emotionally voted no.
You're going to traumatize them again. At 16 years old.
After the changes were made, the Senate Rules Committee voted mostly along party lines to advance the bill to the full Senate. But some Republicans who voted yes still have concerns and say they may not support the bill going forward without changes.
How can religious freedom only apply to certain religions? I struggle with that.
The bill's author, State Senator Sue Glick, acknowledged it's a work in progress.
Nobody's completely happy with any piece of legislation, I think. We have to look at all the possibilities and all the ramifications of what we do here.
So lawmakers today choosing to move forward with that bill out of committee. Now it goes to the full state Senate. The next step in the process is for any state senator to introduce any amendments. Now it's not likely all of those will be considered. We're expected to see a vote by the full Senate on this bill by the end of the week. Birchelle?
And Kristen, you just mentioned that when it goes to the full Senate, that's when we may see other amendments. Have the Democratic leadership discuss amendments they might want to add to this bill to change the context of what's happening?
Well, not yet in the next step of the process, but we do know that they did introduce several other amendments. There were a total of 16 amendments introduced today in committee. Only a small handful of those were approved. Most of them weren't even heard, and Senate Democrats who are on this committee were very frustrated by that, Birchelle.